Thank you for watching this unboxing video. I don't know when I will have time to build this guy, as I will be leaving on a trip.
Oh boy, I can't wait for TNG to review the Gundam F91. What? It's been 4 years already, and he hasn't reviewed it yet? Hey, relax everyone. I got this under control. It's not an Expo exclusive, but it's still the same kit. Hey guys, how's it going? It is Plastic Disaster, and today we are going to do the review of the high-grade Universal Century Gundam F91. This Gundam appeared in a movie that is also called Mobile Suit Gundam F91. To give a little brief backstory of the movie, it does take place in the same universe as the original Gundam series, but way far ahead in the future. And fun fact, it was meant to be a full-length series, but somehow they want to change it to like a 2-hour movie or something. I mean, I'm okay with that choice, but it would be fun if it was like a full-length series. And as for the kit itself, this came out in 2013, and I heard a lot of good things about this kit, so I'm really excited to put it together. Looking at the box art, if you haven't seen the movie, consider this one like a spoiler. We have a nice art of the final battle, and also I hope we do get an HGUC of this kit right over there sometime in the future. Taking a look at this side of the box, we do see the accessories, the gimmicks, and the poses. Taking a look at this side of the box, we have the front and the back shot of the Gundam F91, and it's all in Japanese. Maybe it's like information of the mobile suits if I am correct. And right over here is a nice art of the Gundam F91 in the final battle. So the fact that this is a small box, which means it's going to be a small mobile suit, and it also means there's not going to be a lot of runners. So anyways, inside the box we are greeted with 2 bags of runners and a manual. So here is what the Gundam F91 looks like when it's all painted up on. And right over here is the information about the mobile suit. Yep, right here, 15 meters. And in universe, the standard RX-78 Gundam, like I showed earlier in the review, is about 18 meters. Since the movie came out in the 90s, they do have a thing for smaller robots. Looking at this side of the manual, we see some familiar images, and this side, it just shows how to put the accessory together, but I am going way ahead of myself in the manual. And in this side, looks like we're going to be using all the parts. And looking at inside the manual, we're going to be starting with the body, going on to the head, the arms, more arms, and then you start building the legs, more legs, and then start going to the backpack. And in the back of the manual, we see 2 new images, a same rear shot of the Gundam, the gimmicks and the hand options, the familiar line art, and the color guide if you're planning on painting it. Starting off with Runner A1 is going to be the white parts. Looks like we're going to have parts for the legs right there, the shoulders, parts for the backpack, parts for the thighs. Looks like we have beam saber handles right over there, and it looks like we have the ankle guards. Runner A2 is going to be more white parts. Looks like we're going to have parts for the head. Looks like we have beam rifle parts and parts for his beam bazooka, and parts for his backpack, front skirt armors, back skirt armor. And looking at Runner A1 and Runner A2 together, it looks like it was supposed to be one big runner, but it was like snapped in half during production. In a nice and professional way, I mean. Runner B is gonna be the gray parts for the joints. It looks like we have hand parts, parts for the weapons, and looks like we have some interior details right over there. Speaking of details, taking a closer look at the weapons right over there, let me bring the light closer. And I gotta say, it actually looks really nice. It looks like Bandai put a lot of effort in these. Runner C is gonna be the red parts. Looks like we're gonna have parts for the feet, and looks like we have 2 parts for the red shins, and I'll explain why later on in the review. Runner D is going to be in blue parts, and they're all chest pieces. Runner E is going to be the green effect parts. We're going to have parts for the beam saber and the beam shield. Runner F is going to be the only yellow parts, and it's going to be parts for the head, the usual polycap runner, and last but not least, the sticker sheet. Okay, well, something tells me I'm gonna have to do a lot of painting on this one, so wish me luck. So that about wraps up the unboxing. Like I said, not a lot of runners, so it's gonna be a quick build for me. In terms of painting, that's gonna take me a little while, but for you guys, it's gonna be like 1 second for you. Okay, let me snap this kit together and I'll be right back with the out-of-box presentation. Alright, so here is the Gundam F91, out of box, no paint, and no panel line whatsoever. But I did went ahead and paint the eyes of the Gundam model kit just to save myself the trouble. But other than that, if you are planning on painting this kit, well, let's just say you're gonna have to put a lot of effort. Alright, let me just bring this a little closer and bring the cover of the manual. As you can see, there are lots of missing yellow painting apps. And taking a look at the back of the kit, there is no blue, because the only blue parts we have are for the chest, not for the these guns right here, or the Vesper, if you want to call it that. Honestly, for me, it's not that big of a deal. I mean, I don't mind putting a lot of effort in, but if you're like one of those like lazy modelers who don't want to put a lot of effort in, I don't know. I'll explain it better on my final thoughts. And in terms of seam lines, you're gonna get some on the top of the shoulders, which is pretty common in high grades. And we have a seam line right over here on the Vesper. Yeah, I think that's what it's called. And we also have a panel line right there on the legs. Well, in the front and at the rear, you can kind of get away with it as a detail. So other than that, in terms of seam lines, not a lot. Oh, yes, and of course, on the side of the head right over there. Take a closer look. Yep, so other than that, not a lot of seam lines to take care of. The only tricky one would be taking care of the head. You guys want to see more seam lines? Alright, well, taking a look at this beam bazooka, we have one big seam line going across right on top and right on the bottom. And as for his beam rifle, from here to there, that looks like a detail, but on this little area, yes, that's a seam line right there. And on the bottom, look very closely, yes, that is a seam line, but you don't need to like worry about that, because the Gundam's just basically gonna hold it like this, so there's like no point of seeing it. And in terms of the build, I'm actually quite impressed. A few areas that kind of surprised me would be the knees right here. See that gray right there? That's like inner frame poking out. And on the shoulders right here, usually there's a ball joint and a ball socket, because usually it would be like the other way around, but this is kind of a unique thing for this kit. So other than that, it was a really fun build. It was really easy to put together and it doesn't take too long. Here is something I haven't done in a while, which is sticker placement. Starting off with the obvious ones, the eye sticker, of course they go on the eyes. There is an F and a 91 molded detail on the shoulders, so you can use that as a guide for these red stickers right over here. The number 5 sticker is gonna go right up there, but like I said, I already painted it, save myself the work. Sticker number 6 is gonna go on the back of the head right over there. The big blue stickers is gonna go on the Vesper. Sticker number 4 is gonna be the camera lens for the beam rifle, and while sticker number 3 is gonna be for the beam bazooka. Sticker number 11, which is the small yellow ones, is gonna go on the forearms right over there. Big yellow triangle stickers, number 13 is gonna go on the side skirts. Number 14 is gonna go on the knees. And I haven't figured out what number 12 goes to. I believe it goes on the front skirts. Well, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. Okay, that about wraps up my building experience, sticker placement, and the out-of-box presentation. I'm gonna get to work on this kit, and I will see you guys right after. So here is the Gundam F91 all painted up. And from my experience, doing some detail paint on this thing, well, it was quite challenging in some areas, like the black and yellow triangles and the F91 on the shoulders. But once you put in all the effort in, let me give you a 360 view, it looks pretty nice. Okay, so enough about the painting. What about the design and the sculpting? Everything is fine, don't get me wrong, but the one thing that kind of bothered me a bit, I feel like the arms on the F91 is a little too long, but that's just me being nitpicky. Because compared to the anime, the arm length is a little shorter. Because if I'm correct, the length of the arm is supposed to be as long as the tip of the side skirt right over there. Okay, let's move on to the accessories. So first, you get a beam rifle, like I showed you in the beginning of the, or earlier in the video I mean, and you already got the trigger finger for the right hand, the beam bazooka, and you get another trigger finger for the left hand, 2 beam sabers, a beam shield, the adapter piece you're going to put on the back skirt to store the beam bazooka. You have two parts of the shoulders, and the extra face is going to be part of the transformation. If you're going to do some detail painting, don't forget to paint the edges white. And the part that you're going to put the beam shield in and connect to the forearm, well, specifically for the left arm. And if you want to attach the beam shield, first you connect this part right over here, just like that. Take this part out carefully, and you just attach it just like that, and there you go. And to attach the bazooka, you're going to need the adapter piece I showed you. Take this part of the back piece out, just like that. Take the adapter piece, plug it onto here, get this piece back in. Okay, so you want to take this peg and plug it into that hole right there. Now I know that I left the trigger figure hand on, but I'm just doing it for demonstration purposes. Just like this. Looks cool, right? But one problem. If you want to use the VSBUR, the bazooka would just get in the way. And to use it, let me just get the beam bazooka out. Easier said than done. So I had to take this arm out just to show you something cool. So it looks like it's on a track even though it's not, but the way how it's built, again, makes it look like it's on a track. Okay, for real this time. Let me show you how you use the VSBUR. So first, you bring this down like I already showed you earlier. Extend it, rotate it to the side, pull the handle out. Make sure you take out the hand cover if you want to put it on the weapon holding hand. Make sure you align them up correctly. And once you got everything lined up, and this is how it's gonna look. And of course, put the hand cover back on. And I gotta say, it actually looks pretty cool. Oh yeah, and of course, beam saber is just as easy as putting it on the hand like that, and not the best. Just one more time. Yeah. Plus, there is no way to store the beam saber handle, so good luck with that. Okay, let me just put everything back and we'll just jump into the articulation. The head is gonna be on a double ball joint. The shoulder is gonna be on a ball joint. The arm can move up that, well, let's hope you don't move up too far where it pops out. So let's try it again without popping it off. Pop it off again. Only up that far. Swivel on the bicep. Double bend on the elbow, and the wrist is on a ball joint. A little bit of forward and backwards. And we do get a little bit on a side to side, but this upper part is on a ball joint. And there's also a waist swivel. Front skirt moves up. Side skirt can move out to the side, and it's also a bit of a rotation. And the back skirt does not move. The leg can move out that far, can move back that far, and it can move out that far, so it can do the split. And I believe it does a little side to side rocking. Yep, it does. Thigh swivel, double bend on the knee. And if you take a look at the back of the leg, these flaps can move up separately. You gotta use the power of your fingernails, just like that. But that's more on the quote-unquote transformation. Going on to the feet, it is on a ball joint right there, and it can move up that far and move back that far, and you also get a pretty nice pivot. And the ankle guard is on a ball joint. Now going to the VSBUR one more time, it can rock forwards and backwards like I already showed you, and can also rotate and move side to side. So overall, the articulation is actually pretty good. Now, remember what I said, transformation during the articulation? Well, this is when these parts come into play. To switch the face, you're gonna pull the cap off like so. And boy, that does look a little disturbing. Take the head out, replace it with the, I guess you could say, the open face. I think I forgot what the term is, but here you go. Put the cap back on. Here you go. Take these parts out of the shoulder, and you're going to replace it with these ones. And you just insert it right over here, and you're going to do the same thing for the other side. just like that. And of course, do not forget to open the flaps like how I demonstrated during the articulation. Here is what the Gundam F91 looks like when he's transformed. I mean, it's something in my personal opinion, but if you watch the anime, it's actually pretty cool. And looking on the face, it might be unsettling to some people, but for me, I think it looks alright. It doesn't bother me at all. But in terms of like the transformation, sure, it's not like over exaggerated like the Unicorn Gundam or the Shining Gundam. But when I display it, maybe once in a while I'll switch it up. And to all of you Michael Bay Transformers fans out there, let me ask you this. Which face is more tolerable to look at? The one I'm holding or the Optimus Prime mouth? For size comparisons, here he is right next to the standard size RX-78 Let me just point out one thing. Yes, the Gundam F91 is shorter than the standard RX-78 but the thing is, the Gundam F91 should be a little shorter. I mean, would you say it's false advertising? Somewhat, I guess, but you still get a great kit out of it. For another size comparison that takes place in the late Universal Century timeline, here he is right next to the Crossbone Gundam, specifically the RG Crossbone. And for the looks of it, they're both the same height. And for the final comparison, here he is right next to the Earthrise / Kingdom Optimus Prime and the NECA 1994 Godzilla. Okay, so here are my final thoughts. The Gundam F91, or the HGUC Gundam F91, excuse me, it's actually a really good kit. And for a kit that came out in 2013, I say it still holds up. That is, if we're talking about the feeling and the articulation. But if we're talking about the out-of-box presentation, if you're gonna paint this up, you're gonna have to put in a lot of effort. And for you lazy modelers out there, me, it's time to get out of our comfort zone. Okay guys, this is the end of the video, and I want to say thank you guys for watching this video. And if you're new here, please make sure to subscribe, hit the like button, and comment as well. And if any of you guys have this kit, let me know in the comments below and tell me about your experience with it. And one more thing, this is not meant to be an attack to TFG, because TFG and I are buddies. We just like to poke fun at each other once in a while, so subscribe to him as well. Alright, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Huh, what do you know? The yarn can go up a little higher. It's just that the poly cap and the plastic were sticking together when I top coat it.